Hi everyone, welcome to America Trends. Thank you for being with us tonight. I'm Amy Fuller. Ahead, Debra Atkinson will be with us to talk about fitness after 50. She's got some books under her belt and a great website you should check out. If you're trying to lose weight, she says we might be doing it all wrong, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be talking about fitness and nutrition and hormones with Debra Atkinson tonight. She is the CEO and founder of Flipping 50. You can find it at Flipping 50, spelled out, flipping50.com. And she is a hormone balancing fitness expert who's helped over 144,000 women flip their second halves of their lives with energy and vitality. She's got several books under her belt. You've Still Got It, Girl. The After 50 Fitness Formula for Women and Navigating Fitness After 50. Debra, welcome to America Trends.
Thanks so much for having me. Although you and I are going to have to talk. The dessert table, really?
I knew I'd get in trouble for that. I take it all back. So Debra, it's so good to talk to you, especially right now. And we're going to be hearing some good stuff I'm excited to talk about. But how did you get started with all this?
Oh, funny story. We're going for the dirt, I think. I was a graphic design major, and I had just started walking, became a runner that summer right before college. And, about halfway through, I decided that most graphic designers were smokers and drinkers, and they stayed up all night, and I just did not fit in.
You wanted another path.
So true. Oh. So I had 1 foot in graphic design, 1 foot in physical education for a semester, and I had some amazing instructors and decided that's the way I want to make people feel. Give them the power and the strength on the inside as well as the outside. And so here I am. I flipped it to really focus on women 49 and older going through that perimenopause, menopause and beyond, because we were really being underserved. There's not enough people that understand what's happening when hormones change the game.
Oh, you're telling me. This is so interesting because if you're just starting to hear about it, maybe you have some fatigue and someone says you should check into hormone replacement therapy and they start talking in this foreign language that we don't really hear about. What's your elevator, speech for people who need to look into this?
Well, I think the first thing is expectations. We have grown up with generations who expected that when you get a little older, you're going to gain a little weight. Or if you go through menopause, that hot flashes or that belly fat, maybe the cellulite you never saw before is a part of the deal. First of all, you have to just say, no, that's not acceptable.
I like that.
And it's not a given. The game got changed, so we need to change the strategy, and we win again.
So you say hormones, not calorie control, not calories control our weight and energy.
Yeah, so true. We're talking about that in a week that is a little crazy. So calories do count. Let's just make that clear. On Thursday, they count a little, okay?
Let's get that straight.
Let's get that straight. But much more so, you can, and this is not a recommendation, but you can eat as little as you want and exercise as much as possible, and still you're not going to lose weight if your hormones are imbalanced. Number one, cortisol is the bad guy, and if you've got a lot of stress, you got a lot of cortisol, your body is going to store every extra calorie, even if it's not extra, as fat, and make it impossible for you to burn fat. So we've got to learn to de-stress. That's a big hormone.
The stress hormone, cortisol, will cause you to gain weight. So yeah, we have to control that, get enough sleep. And you say we've got it backwards. Eat more and exercise less is the key to the best weight and energy. Tell me more.
Well, okay, right? Again, we're in trouble this week. So we need a little clarification. So eat more of the right foods and exercise less, but the right way. So it's in both things with purpose. It's make every bite count, make every minute of exercise count.
And you have specific goals that you say women over 50 need to target. Protein and weight training are a girl's best friend, but especially after age 50. And most women get too little of both.
Yes, so true. So, we grew up in an era where we watched our mothers, maybe our grandmothers diet. And one of the first things to go when we were young was protein, because it had more fat at that point, and it definitely had more calories. And we're used to thinking that unless we're bodybuilding or we're really active athletes, we need little protein or less protein. And it couldn't be further from the truth. The more you're sitting and sedentary, or the older you are and the more frail, the more protein that you need. There's kind of a per meal recommendation that even RDAs or registered dietitians are beginning to acknowledge is true, much better than a say at the end of the day total or a percentage, which is not very user friendly. But you need about 25 to 30 grams per meal, all of us, every day, to help sustain our muscle mass. And that's going to even help energy levels. People feel so much better when they're getting enough protein, and they feel full and sated. So go for the turkey first, even before that pumpkin pie on Thursday.
And it's probably worth documenting it a little bit to get conditioned as to what's what and how much it takes to make sure you're getting that percentage. So write it down maybe a little bit. And you also mentioned a mere 39% of all sports medicine and exercise research feature women, a fraction of those women in perimenopause and beyond. So it's no wonder most fitness programs don't really address the needs of women in midlife and beyond.
Absolutely right. So, let's say optimistically 50% of that is on perimenopause and beyond women. That means 20% of all the exercise programs we've ever done, and potentially the trainers we've gone to, are actually using textbooks and certification books that are based on females. So we've really got to be asking the right questions if you're doing a program, or if you're reading the newspaper and a new study comes out. Before you jump on that trend and the fad and the bandwagon, you need to ask, was that study done on women like me? Will it apply to me?
Does that study apply to me? Write that down. That's good. And I also love that you say this doesn't have to be the end. You don't just take it for granted that you're going to gain weight at a certain age. Debra, talking to Debra Atkinson, she's a multi-author, CEO and founder of Flipping 50. Do we go to our doctor and say, hey, doc, what's up? Tell me about this hormone thing. I mean, what do we do?
I think one of the things you can do is get an ally in your personal trainer or in a coach who has some experience working with women like you. Because again, you got to keep asking that question. It's not just, are you a great trainer? Who have you worked with? You want to know, have you worked with women flipping 50 who are going through hormone changes that suddenly have changed the rules? And see if you can come up with a list of questions with your coach, your expert, that then you can go to that doctor with. Because then you'll be armed. And if you have a very short appointment, there's not much time with that doctor, you're going to ask the right questions and get the right answers.
Debra, it's such a joy to talk to you. I know that you've got a 28-day kickstart coming up, so I read on your website. Go to Debra's website. It is flipping50.com. 50 is spelled out, flipping50.com. Get her good information. Debra, will you keep us up to date on all this stuff and come back?
I absolutely will. So about that kickstart, if you're having pumpkin pie on Thursday, take 2 and call me in the morning.
There you go. Back after this.